Don't even talk to me. I'm already so pissed. Okay.
Welcome to my life, by the way. And hello, how are you? So nice to see you all again.
You have no idea what I put up with. You have no idea. Anyway, so welcome to the Boomer Broads.
I think we should tell them.
No, I don't even want to talk about it. We're talking about news today? Goody. Let's go then. Let's do it.
Did you even say hello to everybody?
Yes, I said
She
hello.
is so schmocked up, by the way. Like you wouldn't believe. Really, really. And she's taking it out on us. Would anybody like to apply to be in this seat instead of me?
This seat. This seat.
I said this seat.
Yes. Please apply. Absolutely. That's a great idea.
You remind me of the guy that I sat down next to when I was doing at CBS, and the first thing out of his mouth was, "I just want you to know I want to do this by myself. I don't want you here."
So this is like a trend for you.
So this would be
Most
the
of
Boomer
the people
Broad.
you work with say that.
The Boomer Broad.
And what would be wrong with that? Anyway, so news. What would you like to discuss?
We've had a busy few weeks.
Yeah, well, we've been obviously
shows.
out and about and away, and so we have, our news might be a little dated for you, but we haven't yet discussed a lot of this, because we've been in the tundra, as you know, with the Eskimos.
That was the tundra?
I don't know.
I thought it was the glacier.
I thought it was the land of the midnight sun. Anyway, we were in Alaska. As those of you who've missed our video need to go back and watch that video.
Before that was with Keith Lockhart, which was a blast.
You were with Keith Lockhart.
But I still can't do it. I mean,
that was
I can't do whatever he told me to do. But I could never do this either.
No, and I wouldn't even try because I'll look like an idiot. You know how I am.
I just looked?
Yes, exactly.
You mean?
Exactly.
So, yes, news. Well, this.
We haven't even had a chance to discuss the woman getting away with murder. And she did get away with murder.
So therefore, you now know how we feel about that. I know.
And the question is...
But everybody, our fans agreed.
There's so many mixed feelings as to what's to blame. I do not feel the jury is to blame. I feel the prosecution simply did not present a case. And I know people are going to disagree with me, but...
I disagree with you. Should we start with me?
If the prosecution had put together a case that was ironclad, she would be guilty, wouldn't she?
It was a bunch of rednecks from northern Florida who don't know diddly.
I grew up there. Aren't you?
No, I'm from southern Florida.
Oh.
Hello, Leslie. Our dear friend, still down there. I mean, the state of Florida, they're just rednecks. I think that they were, you got to really convince. I know that's what the law says. But I think it was irrefutable.
Well,
let's put it this way. This little girl did not put duct tape on her own mouth and stuff herself dead and wrapped in a blanket into the trunk of her car. Her mother's car.
I would say she did not do that. I'm going to agree with you on that. So was there reasonable doubt? Yes.
Why?
Yes, there was reasonable doubt.
Not in my mind.
That's a good thing.
There was no reasonable doubt.
Didn't the jury think that there was reasonable doubt?
And I'm saying I disagree. I don't think there was reasonable doubt. I agree to some extent that the prosecution didn't do a phenomenal job, but I think they
did the best job they could. They were a victim, I think, of the CSI environment that we live in, which is if you don't have DNA proof of something, if you don't have fingerprints, you can't prove it. You can't prove it.
Well, then somebody did that.
That's where the reasonable
doubt. Some stranger?
I agree. Listen, I know the woman did it, but I don't think the prosecution proved it. That's all I'm saying. There's no doubt in my mind that she did it.
Proved it. As much as they could.
As much as they could.
So can we go? All right. Well, we're not going to agree. So.
Did you know I had a Twitter fight with Roseanne Barr over this case?
And it had nothing to do with the case.
You have to follow
out.
me on Twitter. I've been fighting with the bigwigs these days.
She really
Roseanne Barr, by the way, if you want to see a wackadoo Twitter account, go on to the real_Roseanne Barr handle. And you will see she's a pretty intense lady. She's a little off, shall I say?
She's always been a little off.
And she's very mean, which is not unusual, and that was the fight we had. She was name-calling, and I told her that she had to cut the crap and stop name-calling, and everybody started yelling at me and said that's what Roseanne does. She's a scumbag, and she name-calls. What's wrong with you? You're an idiot. So it was a big brouhaha on Twitter, and I was very proud to
Who would I agree with? Do you think I would agree with
you?
Roseanne?
I don't think you've ever agreed with me, have you? So I assume it would be
So here's another scandal, which I just think. I'm upset about this because I take my journalism very seriously. I really do. I take my journalism, and Colleen's going to have to give us some time checks because I have absolutely no idea how long we've been running. So this whole thing about the Murdoch Empire and how they've been getting their news, it's just
But does
scandalous to me.
Rupert Murdoch scream ethics to you?
It's not about ethics. There's a line you do not. Yes, he doesn't scream ethics to me. I agree with you, but there's a line you do not cross.
But he's in tabloids.
I know, but anybody
All's
that
fair
calls
in
themselves
love and war in tabloids.
No, you do not hack
People,
in.
with Us Weekly, all of these.
You do not do that. You don't do that. You don't hack into people's medical records.
You certainly should.
You don't
shouldn't.
call families of victims of families of children who've been murdered. No, you don't do that. You just don't do that.
Of course you don't do that. But does it surprise you that it was done?
It's
by
not,
Rupert Murdoch's group of newspapers.
It surprises me that it was systemic. It surprises me that it was part of the culture of the papers.
And I think the culture of the papers in England, which is such a voracious media mark, I mean, they love their media. Each other alive, these is you've got to sell more papers, you've got to sell more papers, you've got to be number one, you've got to be number one. And to be number one, they had to resort to underhanded and the seamy underbelly type of maneuvers.
Very, very bad. I'm not very upset about it.
And then I said today on the Doug Stephan show, the Good Day show, that I would never think and would assume the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal would never do something like that. And they told me I was an idiot. And a naive little girl, and they asked me if I still believed in Santa Claus, didn't they?
I actually happen to agree with you on that one. So
thanks for sticking up for me this morning.
I did.
No,
I said I agree with her.
So you had your mute button on. Is this show over yet? Because I have not been
you
in a
obviously
good
are
mood
bored
from when it started. Very angry.
Did you have too much caffeine? Or?
No, maybe not enough. I didn't have a good night's sleep. That's always bad.
All right, because Starbucks, it says the new Starbucks cups.
Oh, speaking of
hold more liquid than the human stomach. It's like, why would you buy a large anything if you can't even drink it?
And especially if, like me, you have an embarrassed bladder. That can be a problem.
And you never... let's talk about the... Excuse me. I'm skipping from the ridiculous to the sublime.
My bladder
the J.C. Dugard story.
People...
Seriously.
If you ever... wake up in the morning, and I'm talking to myself. I should be talking to myself right now. And you're not in a good mood.
Point it this way.
And you're not in a good mood, and you're a biatch, and all the things that we do, and we complain about the fact that we gained a pound, or there's a stain on our shirt. Life is over. Check out that J.C. Lee Dugard piece with Diane Sawyer. This girl is unbelievable. She has found a ray of sunshine in such a bunch of crap. I don't know how she did it.
A horror story.
A total nightmare that she lived through. Gave birth to 2 children in the dirt with no medical care, was raped continually, and comes out of it and says, all I am is happy. I'm happy to be alive. I would do it all again.
And he would not.
She says,
I didn't even hear that.
No, you missed that. Well, you couldn't
I
bear to watch the whole thing. But this...
It's so mind-boggling to me what this maniac man did.
She is
and his
a goddess.
Maniac wife who stood by
She should be the Time Magazine Woman of the Year.
Yes, she should.
I would like to nominate her right now.
I think you're absolutely right.
Yep,
she
really
mean
it.
And I thought the way Diane Sawyer handled the interview was beautiful. I really did.
She looks great, by the way.
Does.
She looks
Talk
fantastic.
About boomers.
And so does J.C. Lee Dugard. To go through what she went through, she looks like she's 25 years old. Her skin is like pearl gorgeous.
And what did they say?
Because she had no sunshine.
For 18 years, she had no sunshine.
She says her advice is not to get a lot of sun. Oh my God, how does she even have a sense of humor?
I don't know.
Wow.
Quite something.
Really, let me, whap. I'm in a good mood now. This life is good. We are blessed.
So what about this Pennsylvania restaurant that wants to ban children under 6?
Good.
No pee-pee in the bathroom, right?
You know I don't like kids. I don't like kids, and I don't like kids in restaurants. I don't like kids in pools. I don't mind kids in their own bedrooms. Comfortable bedrooms. I don't want them to be like this.
Speaking of kids, my kids, hi kids, they were just home, just left yesterday. Love you, both of you. You're great. Both of you are doing great. I'm so proud of you both. I really am.
Soon they're going to be making more money than you and me.
You think? And what will that mean, do you think?
That we'll be retiring.
You think?
And being cared for at the old folks' home.
My children have not made any offers, however.
What a shock. I am shocked. Okay, we need to hurry. We're at the end of the road.
Why? We're not in a hurry. We have plenty of time.
We're in a hurry.
Plenty of time. This I find shocking, that companies are going to see record profits while unemployment goes up.
Oh, that is shocking. Corporate America. Rupert Murdoch shocks you. Corporate America shocks. Emery, what are you? Are you a Pollyanna?
I think I might. There might be some of that to me. So should I get back to some good stories?
Yeah, that's a good story.
This is a great story.
Go Team USA. Actually, when do they play? Today? Today?
Is it today?
France? Ooh, we better check. Yes, and I love this team. Isn't that great that women's soccer can carry that much credence? Look at that front page of the sports section.
You were around
Go girls.
Weren't you around for the others?
Brandy Chastain and the pulling off of the shirt. Oh my God, yes. And Mia Hamm. But I think this group might capture America even more.
You think?
I think they
Why?
might.
So far, they've captured America through social media, which is interesting.
Maybe that's what it is.
That's what they're saying.
Maybe that's what it is.
Social media has done it.
Like the difference between the Casey Anthony case and the OJ case. It was social media that drove it. Just saying, maybe that's
what the headline in USA Today is Team USA savoring the tweet smell of success. So they really
they're beloved.
Beloved, and they should be.
Yeah,
that's hard work, and they've worked really, really hard. I think it's absolutely great.
Oh, I hope they get into the finals.
Okay, I guess I have other little things that we can talk about.
I'm surprised you didn't bring up the 16-pound baby.
Oh yeah, that's
Ouch.
Disgusting.
That's a big ouch.
Except that ouch is right.
But it was a cesarean.
But
obviously.
the father is 6'7", so I mean, but still, I know. You got basketball players that have children that don't come out 16 pounds.
No, it was because I heard she had diabetes, gestational diabetes, and often when you have that, your children are bigger.
Oh,
they
really?
already estimated it would be 12. She would be 12 pounds, so he ended up being 16.
Yeah, that's bad. Very, very bad.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, on that note,
we're back.
We're back. May I apologize now for this show? Because it's just wrong.
You're just grumpy. You're just mean and
I'll be
grumpy.
back next week. I'm going to be perky. I'm going to remind myself of J.C. Lee Dugard.
Every day.
Every day. Every day. And you should too.
Every day when you get up. Seriously.
I'll speak to you next week.